lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No call. For real. I want that caught. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you. Don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Cotton and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games.
And this coaching staff has to be pleased with how their defense played last week. They held their opponents to 3 points, and that was it. Thinking anything comparable to that performance, this one's in the bag.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. The return comes from Orleans Darkwan. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. They'll have Lamar Jackson calling the shots, the former Heisman Trophy winner from Louisville.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, line it.
Now a play fake here on first down. On the move, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Now let's go. 3-19.
A first carry now for Kenneth Dixon. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 8.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
Now let's go. Blue, line it.
From the gun, it's Jackson. A dump off for Dixon. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
second down. It's Dixon. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now let's go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back deep here, Marcus Murphy. And now Oakland ready to take the field.
Detroit! Detroit!
On 1st and 10, Steele. He targets Jordan Matthews, and it's caught. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Off the play fake, Steele. And this one's incomplete. He was looking for James O'Shaughnessy as tight end, and it's 3rd and short.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Over the middle, complete. That's Morrison. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a 1st down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. For Johnson, the numbers for his performance from last week: 16 carries, 82 yards.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play, and I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams, because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm of the run game, not just with the runner, but with the offensive line as well.
No, check! Patriot! Patriot!
And they'll go with a ground attack here. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Detroit! Detroit!
To throw on 3rd down, Steele. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on third down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Looking to throw. Steal. And Matthews has it right side. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though. Huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
The drive begins with a run by Dixon. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about it.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel. That's how you pay the proper price.
And how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. A chance for us to look at this Baltimore defense again. And as we're going to see right here, they have been laying some pretty electrifying hits in this one.
And these are for real. Okay, as you watch, think about putting yourself in that spot, about being the ball carrier or the receiver.
I don't want to.
And then taking that shot, it is something else. It's not like when we were watching that video clip where they showed you how they make sounds for movies. This is for real.
On 1st down, Steele. Trying to lay one up deep. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Chester Rogers, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Ravens taking the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, Everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
How about the timing on that one? Where they were in sync, weren't they? Three-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Hurry up, here we go.
They go play action here on first down. And he hits Jermaine Kearse. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hurry up, here we go. Boom, landed.
On first down, they go with Dixon. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
On the give, this is Dixon. Open space inside the 10. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Kenneth Dixon hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit. But for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So out come the Raiders. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Throwing on first down. Steele. Buying time to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
How about that one? The so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Hurry up, here we go.
3rd and long. Steele eluding the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a look. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
So the big play nullified. Illegal forward pass.
And maybe we know why they were able to get such a good chunk of yardage on that play. That pass was illegal.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And now here come the Ravens. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They'll start the drive with Dixon. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. And Marquell Lee with a stop defensively. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
All right, here we go.
Play action. Now Jackson. And he will find his man on the outside. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 44-yard line. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Snead over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Green 39! Green 39!
Jackson on 1st down. Caught left side to Crabtree. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse. That'll bring up 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Jackson. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
From the gun, Jackson. It'll be a pickup of 13 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker, Justin Tucker, out onto the field. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points. Able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now let's look at David Johnson. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
They haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he spins through. And now running right through it. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Throw on 2nd down. Steele. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Gun! Back 99 Philly, here we go. All right, now, look at 56.
From the gun, Steele. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. As his guys are in for 6, and the Raiders are able to cash in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. 14 seconds, all that's left of this first half as they come up on first down.
Now let's go.
Now a handoff for Dixon. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll begin up at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And in the second quarter, it's the Vikings who are out on top. Kirk Cousins has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we'll make the trip down to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Denver Broncos. The Colts have tasted victory only once this season with 12 defeats, but they're in it with a shot at victory number 2. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. Devontae Adams. Up.
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 9 yards on the carry there, but it'll be fourth down now.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fielded at about the 28. And running with power here. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards Stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Right back to Dixon. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the past, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
He's got Curse. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. They go play action with Jackson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Charles Tapper in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
All right, here we go.
They go play action now. Jackson to the right side and complete to Hurst. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down. Jackson. And that's complete to Croft. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here, and just load up for it and see what happens.
And down he goes. Brought down. Sack. Tahir Whitehead in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
3rd and goal, Jackson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know you've got a baseball background. Right?
A little bit. Started minor league ball.
Yeah, you did some of that, right? What do they do when they do the signals? An indicator, right?
Whether it goes or not, yeah.
Yeah, whether the play's on or not. How about the indicators offensive linemen give when they're getting ready to run a screen pass? And if those get red, well, we just saw that there, didn't we?
No gain.
No gain. Deciphered it and finished the play off.
So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
On 1st and 10, Steele. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st down, Steele looking left side, and he's got him in. It's Morrison. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect to put...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Tim Williams in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Like how they started the third quarter here. They forced a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. On third down, Steele. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, right at the 15-yard line here. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 15. Now a carry here for Orleans Darkwa. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Back now in Baltimore. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play.
Set! Green, 39!
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Hurry up, here we go! 3-19!
Play action. It's Jackson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught inside the 25. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Michael Crabtree with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And right now, a lot to like on that screen. They've wrapped up the division, now currently sitting in the coveted number 2 spot. Of course, you want one. You'd love number 1, but if you can't have one, number 2 is pretty good.
I agree with you totally, and here's the other part, too. The really good teams, the really confident teams, they're not as worried about being number 1. 2 is fine because they feel like they can go on the road and win against number 1 if they absolutely have to. The big thing, though, is clinching one of those early byes and able to sit and get a little rest as the playoffs begin.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Steele. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big run.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
5 yards that time out of the scramble, but now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there, trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game, his 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
On the return, here's Marcus Murphy. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Throwing on 1st down. Steele. Left side, caught by Matthews. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. Back to throw. Steele. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a 1st down. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the 1st, and stop the clock as well.
And you know, in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movements. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Steele. Left side complete. That's Morrison. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well.
Personal foul.
I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Steele. Escaping the pressure right. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a first down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
They come out here in the eye. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
False start, offense.
That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. Boy, they had it at the 1. The false start moves it to the 6 now for first and goal. And they'll run it here. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. Second and goal from inside the 5. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Raiders have cut it back to within a score. And nothing special there. They show they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight ahead power, and they got it done.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
They stay on the ground with Dixon. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. The Ravens on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. And not much of an opening there as he's only going to get this to about the 32. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Murphy now to return. Oh, able to avoid him. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back. Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now? The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 30. That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays,
they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Johnson on the counter. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. He will push his way down to about the 14. Tim Williams makes the tackle.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Back to throw. Shakes off the sand. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Tyus Bowser in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to potentially send us to overtime. The kick by Carlson is good. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
Dixon. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Tackle made there by Eric Rowe.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
Now it's Murphy. Oh, 360. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a first throw here in overtime. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Morrison. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A Raider first down, 17 yards. Now a handoff, Johnson. And unable to get downhill there, so he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
To throw on second down. Steele. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Oh, so close but incomplete. Could have been a big turnover in overtime if he'd held on. Instead, though, it's 4th down. Well, their defense did its job. Now they're going to get the football with a chance to win it.
And it feels like they ran out on the field, and right before they did, they told the offense, don't worry about this. We got you. Okay, we've got the situation under control. We'll get it back for you for a chance to win the game. And, boy, they did it well.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. First throw in overtime now for Jackson. And the grab by Croft. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Here we go.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Dixon again. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
3rd and short, it's Dixon. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Here's Sam Cook now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. Here's Murphy. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. This being their second opportunity in overtime, 3rd overall drive, see if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. And I'll tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. On 1st and 10, Steele. He's going to let this one. It's caught inside the 25. A huge play there in overtime. 41 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
As a rookie quarterback, that's exactly how you endear yourself to your teammates. Give it up for the cause. It's also how you end up on the training table, too.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. Coach doesn't like it. Teammates love it. Where do you fall on it?
Well, I fall on wanting to endear yourself to your teammates, but pick your spots. Be smart about it. They need you for the full season.
Yeah, the rookie's going to learn as he goes. What pressure as this thing all rests on the foot of Daniel Carlson. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. What pressure as this thing all rests on the foot of Daniel Carlson. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And the Raiders escape with a victory. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance out field goals from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for the Raiders, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now in the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they'll try to get back on track next week.
Come here, sounds like I seats in there. I'm on your turf again. This, that, you from the back of the. I got a girl, Brad. She go to battle. LAD low to the tag. I go in back of the. They all from that. My diamonds, they all look at. This, that. I go to bet on bet. I got the beam in the flats. I got it in the back. Haters, they talk the chat. They step on the rock, come at. I'm a team back. 100K. I found out where you lay at. I got the lurking and they hate cats. Pockets stay fat. I got the from the block and they spamming, they know what banks at. I got the work on the avenue, they know what tanks at. I got the that live in the mansion, they know what you at. I got some that's up in the jet and they know what that. I came on top of the building, yeah, my we had a plan. We came on top of the building, yeah, my we never ran. Down there, thought that had a fan. Oh, hey, any 10 o'clock, got a flight out, yeah, I'm going back out to Japan. I got 2 Billy truck and a bitch door with a land. Bruce Wayne, I'm Batman. Batman, I'm best man. I got my best man. I go to hotels when I step out, yeah, your boy got a doorman. I go to nightclubs with yeah, they call me the madman. I ain't no. Birds come out.